Hi guys, my name is Jill and today I'm going to walk you through your very first Lashify application. I'm going to share all my favorite tips and tricks, so grab your control kit and let's get started. Before we start application, let's talk about everything that comes inside of your control kit. Inside your kit, you're going to open it up and you're going to find a couple goodies on top. We have our wandums. These go over the tips of your fuse control wand. They help with stickiness, so we're going to use some of these today, so hold on to these. You also get a lid space finder. This is gonna help you decide which length is gonna be best for you when you're ready to purchase another Gossamer style. Then you have this fun little business card that has a QR code on the back. You can scan this. It's gonna bring you to our how-to page. There's gonna be so many videos on there on tips and tricks to help you with your application. Then you are going to get your control kit. So the control kit comes in white and it also comes in black. The only difference between the two is going to be the color of the kit and the color of the wand inside. If you haven't purchased your control kit yet, then I recommend going onto our website and taking our control kit finder quiz. It's going to tell you exactly which control kit is going to be perfect for you based off of your preferences. Inside of your control kit, you get everything that you need to get started. So once you open your kit and you're looking inside, at the top is our double-sided whisper light. So this is going to be your bond. Our bonds are really special because they are a flexible bond, which means that they're gonna move freely with your natural lash. They're never gonna fully cure or harden, so you're gonna have zero lash damage. Our bond is not only flexible, but is also free of any harsh chemicals. So there's no cyanoacrylates, no formaldehyde, no latex. The system was literally made for the most sensitive eyes. Our bonds are also really special because they have biotin and levandula inside, and these are like nutrients for your natural lash. A lot of times we have customers who come to us and they've come from having lash extensions and maybe they've got damaged lashes, and after using Lashify, they are raving about how long and full their natural lashes have become. Both sides are bonds. A lot of times people think that the black might be like a mascara, but they are both bonds. With your double-sided whisper light, you have one side that's black and one side that's clear. On the black side, if you open it up and take a look, it has a micro mascara wand. So this is really key to application. So once we start getting into application, I'm gonna reiterate a million times for you guys, we want thin light coats of bond. So this micro mascara wand is gonna be perfect to help you with that. On the other side, we have our clear whisper light. So our clear whisper light has a precision tip applicator. So this is really great because you can get really precise. It's great for stacking. It also comes out white, and as it starts to get tacky, it goes clear. So it's perfect for beginners. Here's a fun tip. With your double-sided whisper light, the side that has your white writing is gonna be your clear bond. The side that has the black writing is going to be your black bond. Next inside your control kit is your fuse control wand. This is a patented hand-tooled wand, and what it's going to do is fuse down your Gossamers onto your natural lashes so that you can wear them for up to 10 days. Okay, so I want you to pick up your fuse control wand with your dominant hand, and I want you to place your pointer finger and your thumb right where the bridge, right where this little dip is. This is gonna be the most comfortable place to hold it while you fuse down. So for now, grab your wand and just hold it and give it a few squeezes. And this is what we're gonna be calling a fuse once we start applying. So in order to do a full fuse, my recommendation is coming in and placing that curve right onto your cheekbone. So this is gonna give you the perfect full fuse. Then you're gonna make sure that the back arm, the top arm of the fuse control wand is placed onto your lash, and then you're just gonna practice doing a gentle fuse. This is gonna be your full fuse. Then we have a reverse fuse. So reverse fusing, all you're going to do is take your wand, and instead of holding it horizontal, you're gonna take your wand and you're gonna hold it straight up and down, almost like a pen. And then you're gonna focus the tips, and you're just gonna practice doing some light fuses right across. A good tip for reverse fusing is when you come in, lifting your elbow up, and that's gonna help you to angle across the eye. Let's talk about fusing on your non-dominant eye. So for me, I do not prefer coming across my nose, the bridge of my nose, and fusing this way, but practice it and try it because it might work for you. So you're gonna come across the bridge of your nose, and then you're gonna fuse down onto the spine this way. So now I'm gonna take my wand and I'm going to turn it and reach across, and I'm going to come onto that outer corner of that other eye and fuse down right across. So this is more comfortable for me. But again, whatever feels comfortable for you is the right way to fuse. As long as we're fusing down onto the spines, that is the key to making sure that we create this nice seal for our Gossamers and our natural lashes to sit inside. So inside your control kit, you also get your pack of wandums. So these wandums are gonna be great for your first application because they're gonna help with stickiness. So in order to put the wandums on, you're going to just slide them over the tips of the wand. And then once they're on there, I want you to practice fusing now with the wandums on there. So do everything we just did. You're gonna come in, you're going to hold that wand over your eye, and you're gonna fuse down using the wandums. These are gonna give you a bit of a wider fuse too. Then I want you to practice however you desire onto your non-dominant eye. Fuse down for like 5 to 10 seconds as practice, and then you are good to go. Next in your control kit is glass. So glass is a sealer that's going to help remove any stickiness or tackiness at the end of your application, and it's also going to make your lashes water resistant. Glass has a really fun applicator. It's got a ball on the tip and a spoolie on the end. I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can use glass. You can use the ball end of the applicator to run along the spines, and that'll remove tackiness there. You can also use it and brush through the Gossamers, and that's going to remove any stickiness there as well. Now, my favorite part of the control kit, your Gossamers. So our lashes are called Gossamers. So inside of your control kit, you get 2 Gossamer cartridges. Each cartridge is gonna hold 12 Gossamers, and they're going to have our Gossamer style and the Gossamer length on the back. So with that being said, when you purchased your control kit, you decided what length you wanted to get. So you either chose a 10 and 12 millimeter Gossamer, or you chose a 12 millimeter and 14 millimeter Gossamer. In your control kit, we're giving you 2 different Gossamer lengths so that you can create a custom lash map that's perfect for you. When we're talking about the length of the Gossamers, what we're referring to is the length of the Gossamer from the spine all the way to the tip. So the higher the number, the longer the Gossamer. You also got to choose your style. So we have 3 different styles available for our control kit: our Amplify, our Bold, and our Curl. So our Amplify is gonna have the thinnest fiber lash, it's gonna have the least amount of curl, very natural. Our Bold Gossamer style has a thicker fiber, a little bit stronger curl, so it might give you the appearance of mascara. And then our Curl Gossamer style has a thin fiber similar to the A, but a stronger curl, so now it looks like maybe your natural lashes but with a lash lift. All the options are great. I'm going to be using our Bold Gossamer style. Let's practice removing our Gossamer from the cartridge and holding it with our wand. So when you're removing your Gossamer from the cartridge, you always want to make sure to use your fingers. Our wand is ergonomically designed to put a certain amount of pressure towards the tip, so we don't want to come in and start plucking out lash fibers. To remove it, you're going to grab onto all of the lash fibers of the Gossamer and grab as low as you can, and then just gently slide it out of the cartridge. Now let's practice holding the Gossamer using your fuse control wand. I recommend coming in and holding the Gossamer so the curl is facing you, and you're gonna come in and you're gonna grab all the way across and all the way at the tip. This is gonna help you when you're applying it to the underside of your lash. So now I want you to grab your control kit, hold your mirror looking down for now. We'll talk more about this in a minute. Grab your Gossamer and just practice coming and holding it up under the natural lash. Let's do this a few times together so that you can get the feel of it. Another cool feature for the control kit is that the mirror is going to bend all the way back. This is going to allow you to really get the best view of the underside of your lash. The mirror also has a slight magnification, so it's going to make it even easier for you to apply. And last but not least, do not throw away the box that your control kit comes in, because once you open it up and take out this foam insert, it is now going to become a place for you to store your newest lash obsession. Our Gossamers were designed to be worn for up to 10 days. With your first application, you might only get 1 or 2 days wear, and that's totally fine. After some practice, you're gonna figure out your placement, your bonding technique that works best for you. Maybe you're gonna play around with different aftercare tips, and then you're gonna start to get increase in longevity. Now that we've talked about everything that comes in our control kit, let's apply. The very first thing that we need to do before we do anything is make sure that our lashes are prepped and ready to go. With Lashify, you want to make sure that you're applying to fresh, clean, dry lashes. No mascara, no makeup, just fresh, clean, dry lashes. You'll notice that my natural lashes, they don't have a ton of curl, but they're not super straight either. You can curl your lashes before you apply Lashify if you have really straight lashes, but because we're applying to the underside of the lash, your natural lash is going to submit to the curl of whatever Gossamer style you place on there. Okay, so I want you to take your control kit and you can either hold it or place it onto a countertop. Today, I'm going to walk you through our lockdown method. This is our most popular bonding technique using both sides of your double-sided Whisper Light. This technique is gonna have 3 layers of bond. Our bonds are designed to be layered. The more layers, the more longevity. So grab your double-sided Whisper Light, go ahead and open the black side with your micro mascara wand. And what we're gonna do for this first layer is apply a really thin light coat. So it's gonna look almost like a thin light coat of mascara. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna look down into my control kit and I'm just gonna brush through my entire lash. So I'm gonna go from the base and again, just like a thin light coat of mascara. And then sometimes if I start to get clumping, I'm gonna turn my mascara wand and I'm gonna come in and use the tip to come in and kind of separate. You don't want your lashes to start clumping because if they start clumping, then you're gonna see them behind the Gossamers. But here's a fun tip. If they start to clump, you can come in with your fuse control wand without your wandums and you can just really gently come in and brush through to separate the lashes. Once I have my first layer on there, what I need to do now is wait. So the key to applying Lashify is thin, light coats of bond and allowing each layer to get nice and tacky. I'm gonna close my bond because we don't want this to start getting tacky itself. I'm gonna close this, set this to the side, and then you can take your hand and you can fan for 30 to 60 seconds. So you have your first coat, let's get it tacky together. Okay, so it's been about 30 seconds. What I want you to do is take the back of your nail, you're gonna come in and you're gonna do what we call the tacky test. You're gonna come in and you're gonna take the back of your nail and see if it's starting to stick to the lash. If it's starting to stick, that means that things are tacky and you are good to go for your next layer of bond. With the lockdown technique, our second layer is again using our black side of our Whisper Light. So you're gonna take that side again, and this time we're not gonna brush it all the way through the lash. You're gonna keep it just at the base. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna wiggle it into the base of my natural lash. And again, if I want, I can come and turn the wand. I can use the tip to get some into the inner corner. But you wanna make sure that you're focusing it just at the base. So after we have that second layer, we're gonna do another 30 seconds and we're gonna make sure that it gets nice and tacky. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna fan it. So what we're doing when we're applying to the base of our natural lash is we're creating a cushion. We're layering the bond to create a cushion where our natural lashes, our Gossamers will all sit inside, and this is gonna help ensure that there's no damage. So here we go, 30 seconds. Okay, so let's do another tacky test. I'm gonna come in with the back of my nail. Oh, and I'm definitely getting tacky. So we are good for our third and final layer of bond. So with this layer, we're gonna switch to the clear side of our Whisper Light. So remember, the clear side has that white writing and it has this beautiful precision tip applicator. So we're gonna take our clear and what we're gonna do is create a guideline. We're gonna do this by applying this clear 1 to 2 millimeters away from our waterline. So I'm gonna come in and I'm going to take my clear, I'm I'm looking down into my mirror still, and I'm gonna press this flat onto the natural lash, and I'm gonna leave that gap. And what this will do is create a nice guideline. So with the clear, it does go on white, and as it starts to get tacky, it's gonna turn clear. This is really cool because it's perfect for beginners to figure out how long it takes for the bond to get tacky or the bond to fully dry. With Whisper Light, you actually have a long drying time, so don't feel like you have to rush. So once you have your clear Whisper Light on there, it should look like this. You should have a nice white guideline of where you're gonna place the spines. Let's wait 30 seconds for it to get tacky. So I'm gonna start to fan this again. So we're placing our Gossamers 1 to 2 millimeters away from our waterline for a few reasons. We wanna make sure that we never feel them. If you feel our Gossamers, that means they're just too close to your waterline. They are made of Korean PBT silk. They are virtually weightless, so you should never feel them. We also wanna make sure that we're away from the waterline, because if we're touching that wet line, what's gonna happen is the moisture is gonna start to touch the bond and it's gonna start to break apart, and that's when you can start to get lifting and you're not gonna get that longevity that you're looking for. We also wanna make sure that our natural lash, that root of our natural lash, can still breathe and grow while we wear our lashes. So we are tacky. So I don't even need to do a tacky test because I can already feel that I'm a little bit tacky. So I'm gonna give you a fun tip. If you have a lot of stickiness, especially like in my inner corner right now, my natural lashes are sticking a little bit to the bottom, go ahead and take that glass and just brush a little glass onto your bottom lash. And that's gonna help make your application a little easier because now you're not gonna stick as much. All right, so we have our clear Whisper Light. If you look, our clear Whisper Light has now turned clear, so we are ready to apply. When we're placing our Gossamers onto the natural lash, we wanna make sure that the spine is that 1 to 2 millimeters away from the waterline. So with that being said, today, I'm gonna apply mine 2 millimeters away so that you can really see proper placement. Go ahead and pick up your wand, and then you're gonna pick up your Gossamer just like we practiced before. So you're going to, again, grab it all the way across, all the way at the tip, and we're gonna start to apply. So as a beginner, I want you to start in the center of your eye because this is gonna be the easiest place to apply. So looking down into your mirror, you're gonna come in and you're going to place the spine of the Gossamer right onto where we put that clear Whisper Light, and see how it just sticks. Once it just sticks like that, that's how you know you've used the right amount of bond and you've allowed it the perfect amount of time to get tacky. If it's not sticking, don't worry, you're just gonna allow it a little bit more time for it to get tacky. As a beginner, we recommend once you apply your Gossamer to come in and just give it a small reverse fuse to ensure that it's on there and it's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, our next Gossamer, I'm gonna place side by side. So with this next Gossamer, I'm gonna have my spines lined up so they're touching side by side. I don't need to worry about having them overlap. That's gonna be a more advanced skill. For now, just practice having the spines touch. So I'm again looking down into my mirror, and a good tip for beginners is finding an anchor. So you can place your arm onto a counter. You can use, sometimes I'll use my cheek as an anchor, and that's just gonna give us a little bit more stability when we're applying. So I'm gonna use my cheek as my anchor. I'm going to come in looking down into my kit, and I'm gonna place that right next to that last lash. Once you apply, if you're a beginner, you might not like where you place your lash, and that's not a big deal because again, our bond is flexible. So what you can do, you're gonna come in, you're going to grab the Gossamer and you're just gonna gently slide it off, and because the bond's flexible, no damage, no lashes have come off with it. So I'm gonna show you two. We have been placing this Gossamer 1 to 2 millimeters away from the waterline, and we've talked about why. So I wanna show you proper placement versus improper placement. I'm gonna show you two. If my Gossamer is too close to my waterline, I'm gonna feel it and it's gonna look kind of like this. I wanna fix that placement, so I'm gonna do what we just talked about. I'm gonna take my Gossamer, I'm gonna slide it off. I'm going to hold it all the way across and right at the tip, and we are going to place it right next door again. We are now on to our third Gossamer. This Gossamer, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna place it next to that center Gossamer, moving towards the inner corner. So I'm looking down into my mirror and I am placing it again onto my natural lash about 2 millimeters away. A great tip when you're applying is holding your Gossamer on there for a second and giving it a moment to stick and get tacky. That way you know that it's on there and it's secure. With our fourth Gossamer, I'm gonna go back to the outer corner and I'm gonna apply it again right next door to that other one. But with this one, I'm gonna leave a couple of my natural lashes out because your inner and outer corner lashes, naturally on everyone, they're a little bit shorter, a little bit more sparse, so they're not gonna hold as well. So we're gonna leave them out just to ensure that we get this nice longevity that we're looking for. So I am placing that right onto the natural lash, again 2 millimeters away. Once you start to get your Gossamers sticking on really quick right away, that's how you know that you're really getting the hang of things. With our fifth Gossamer, I'm going to come in and place it into my inner corner. Your eye naturally has a curve, so I'm going to take my Gossamer to angle it so that it matches that curve. So I'm coming in and again I'm placing it 2 millimeters away, leaving 1 or 2 of my inner corner lashes free. And there we go. We have just applied our Gossamers onto our first eye. Now that we've got all of our Gossamers onto our eye, we need to fuse them down. So I am taking my Fuse Control wand and we're gonna do that full fuse that we practiced earlier on. Coming in and I'm gonna place the top arm behind my Gossamers and I'm just gonna fuse and I'm gonna hold for 10 seconds. So I'm gonna count with you. And then I'm going to release. If your Gossamers start to stick to your wand, no big deal. Don't pull your wand away, just make sure to blink your eye gently and it'll come free. So I'm gonna do one more full fuse just to make sure everything is secure and in place. So I'm gonna hold down right onto the spines. The key to fusing is making sure that you're fusing onto the spines because that's how we're gonna create this nice seal and cushion for everything to live inside while you wear your Gossamers. If I wanna do a reverse fuse, then I'm gonna come in and we're gonna do just like we practiced before. I'm gonna hold my wand straight up and down and I will focus the tips right onto the spines. For me, when I'm applying, I like to do both a full and reverse fuse because with a full fuse, I don't always get this outer corner. So I like to just make sure that I'm coming in and getting that spine fused down with that reverse fuse. Congratulations! You just applied Lashify to your eye all on your own. Let's work on our non-dominant eye now. So I'm going to take our black Whisper Light again. We are going to brush it all the way through our natural lash. With my non-dominant eye, I like to reach across and I'll just brush all the way through and then same thing as the other side. Once I get into the inner corner, if I need to, I'll turn my wand and I'll brush it through the lash using the tip. Again, we want to remember thin, light coats. This first layer, we want to make sure there's no clumping. So we've got our first layer. Now we are going to fan it for 30 seconds and let it get tacky. With this first layer of bond, I like to apply all the way through the natural lash because I like to think of it almost as a primer where it's going to make my natural lashes a little bit thicker so my Gossamers have more to hold on to. It's also coating my natural lashes with the black Whisper Light so that they are going to be more seamless from the top because my natural lashes aren't black, they're like a lighter brown, so this is just helping to make everything appear a little bit more natural. Okay, so now we have to do our tacky test. So I'm gonna take the back of my nail, we're gonna hold it on there, and I am starting to get nice and sticky, so I know that we are ready for our second layer. If you're not sticky, you're just gonna wait a little bit longer. So you can pause us and then come back. Okay, our next layer, again, we're taking our black Whisper Light, and remember, this one's just going at the base of our lashes. So I'm coming in and I'm kind of just wiggling it into the base. Again, I like to turn and use the tip of the wand for that inner corner. And once we have it on there, we are going to wait another 30 seconds. You wanna make sure when you're applying that it's thin light coats, because it's similar to if you're painting a wall or similar to if you're painting your nails. You don't wanna come in and do your first thick coat and then you wait 10 seconds and you apply your next thick coat. You wanna allow thin coats and you wanna allow each coat to get nice and tacky. Okay, let's do our tacky test. So I'm going to come in with the back of my nail. I can already tell that I'm getting a little sticky because my inner corner is sticking. So I am gonna take a little bit of that glass and I'm gonna put a little onto my bottom lash. And then we'll apply our third and final layer of bond. So I'm gonna take that clear Whisper Light. I'm looking down into my mirror and I wanna start creating that guideline. When I'm creating that guideline with the clear, I prefer holding my wand so it's flat. You can come in and dot it straight on if you like. For me, holding it flat just covers more lashes all at once, so I like to just come in and I'll hold it flat and press it on there. I also like to spin my wand. So this way I'm not going back and forth, dipping into my bond repeatedly. As you're opening and closing your bond, you're pushing air into the tube and it'll start to get a little bit tackier. So I like to come in and I'll place that wand flat and create that guideline. And now we're gonna wait another 30 seconds for it to turn clear and get nice and tacky. Okay, so I have my 3 layers of bond. I'm ready to apply my Gossamers onto my non-dominant eye. I'm going to show you as well applying without the wandums. So when you first get your control kit, try applying with the wandums, try applying without the wandums, and see what feels more comfortable for you. For me personally, I like to use my wand without the wandums because I can get a little bit more precise and a little bit more closer to the lash. So try it both ways, see what works best for you. I'm going to start in the center of my eye again. So I'm picking up my Gossamer and I'm holding it all the way at the top and all the way across. I'm going to take my control kit mirror and I'm going to look down into the mirror and I'm going to start in the center of my eye again. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to place that Gossamer spine 2 millimeters away. I'm going to hold it for a second so that it can stick and then I'm going to release, and there we have it, your first Gossamer on your non-dominant eye. Now I'm gonna come in with our second Gossamer and we're gonna have it go right next door to our last Gossamer that we placed. Another tip for using your Fuse Control wand and applying to your non-dominant eye, because right now you might not be able to put your arm onto the counter. Your anchor this time might be your forehead, it might be your nose. For me, I like to use my forehead while I look down because then I get a little bit more stability. Coming in now with my next Gossamer and I'm applying this right next door, and again, that spine is going to be 2 millimeters away from the waterline. If you're applying and you start to get gaps or spaces in between each Gossamer, no big deal. Perfect placement comes with a little bit of practice and a little bit of time. So we're gonna take our third Gossamer, and this one's going to go next to that center one towards the inner corner. A great tip when applying to your non-dominant eye, you might not be able to hold your elbow onto the counter as an anchor anymore, so what you're gonna do is use your forehead or your nose as your anchor. So let's use my nose, and I'm gonna come in and I'm going to apply that right next to that center one. I'm gonna hold it for a second and then release. Look at that, we already have 3 Gossamers on, 1 whole eye done. You guys are rock stars. So let's come in with our 4th Gossamer onto the outer corner. And we're gonna apply this, and remember, when we're applying to our outer corner, we wanna make sure that we're leaving out 1 or 2 of our natural corner lashes. So I'm gonna come in, looking down, letting it kind of hook right on there, and there we go. Our 4th Gossamer, we have 1 more to go. For your inner corner, What I recommend is taking your wand, and remember on this inner corner, we angled our lash to match that curve of our eye. So we want to do the same thing. For me, a really fun tip is taking my wand and this time placing it onto the bridge of my nose and sliding up my nose until I hit the lash, and that's going to help me with applying into that smaller space in my inner corner. We have on all of our Gossamers, so now we're going to fuse on our non-dominant eye. So I'm going to use my technique where I turn the wand and reach across. So I'm going to come in, fusing onto the spine. I'm going to hold for 10 seconds. If you can't fuse across your body, you're going to try it across the bridge of your nose, or you're just going to go in and do all that reverse fusing like we talked about before. I want to show you too when I'm fusing. See how the outer corner of my Gossamers aren't being fused down on the spine? That's why I like to come in and do that reverse fuse. So with my non-dominant, I start in the inner and I just come all the way across until I get to that outer corner. That way I know that my Gossamers and my natural lashes are all fused together to create that seal. So what we're talking about when we're talking about a seal, we have your natural lashes, we've coated them in bond, we've placed the Gossamers on top. So when we're fusing down, we're creating a seal for everything to live inside and to become one. We have our last and final step, sealing. This is when we come in and we take our glass, and I'm going to show you two different ways to use glass. So I'm going to come in with just the ball applicator for this eye, and with doing that, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to run the glass right along the spines, and I'll go back and forth 2 or 3 times, and then I am all set. With the other eye, I'm going to show you that you can come in and you're going to brush the glass through the lashes. You don't need a lot. It's going to give you a nice glossy finish, and it's going to make them water resistant. With sealing, we recommend waiting 30 minutes after applying just to make sure that everything's dried, everything's set in place, and then coming in and seal. Okay, so you have just finished your very first Lashify application. You should not feel a thing, just your most beautiful. Now that you've applied your first set of Lashify lashes, let's talk about next steps. Aftercare. Aftercare is really important in extending the longevity of your lashes. The biggest thing that you want to avoid is oils touching the lashes. Oil is what breaks apart our bond, so if you're getting oil onto the lashes, they're going to start to lift and you're not going to get that longevity that you're looking for. After you apply your lashes, you want to wait 24 hours before you shower. If they get wet, you want to make sure that you allow them to fully dry before doing any touch-ups. So when you're showering, avoiding water hitting the lashes directly, or when you're washing your face, avoid directly splashing water onto your eyes. Another great tip for aftercare is avoiding sleeping on your face. It can affect the longevity of your Gossamers, and it can also give you wrinkles. Once you're ready to remove your Gossamers, don't peel them off. Make sure that you're removing them with any dual-phased oil-based makeup remover, or you can try one of our removal options, such as our Melt Away or our Release. If you're still having trouble after following along with this video with application or with longevity, we offer a complimentary one-to-one service with one of our educators that you can book right on our website. Want to learn more about Lashify? You can check us out on Instagram where we do live tutorials. Check out our YouTube page. We also have a large Facebook community in a group called Lashify Life where there are tons of tips and tricks on lash mapping, bonding techniques. Everything you need to know about Lashify can be found there, so check it out. Thank you for letting me join you on your very first Lashify application journey. Just remember, relax and have fun.